I never imagined my own flesh and blood would bury me before I was gone. Right there in our Charleston, home where the Spanish moss whispers secrets to the sea breeze. But oh, how I rose from that grave, reclaiming every penny and piece of my soul they'd tried to steal. Let me tell you my story, dear friend. As if we're sharing tea on my porch, it's one of betrayal turned to sweet justice. Back in the 60s, in a sleepy Iowa town where cornfields stretched like golden promises, I gave up my nursing dreams to marry Harold and raise our 3 kids. I managed the home while he built his hardware business, enduring chronic arthritis that twisted my fingers like old roots, and the deep grief when cancer took him 2 years ago in that sterile Des Moines hospital. Family time was my joy baking apple pies for holidays, gardening roses that bloomed despite the harsh winters. But as the kids grew and scattered to big cities, I felt invisible, my wisdom dismissed as old-fashioned, my pension stretched thin against rising bills. Those Grand Canyon trips we took as a family, now just faded photos, reminders of how routine, like my daily walks, built my quiet resilience. Against loneliness and ageism, the betrayal hit like a low-country storm. 5 days after Harold's funeral, at the attorney's office downtown near the Battery, where waves lap at history's feet, my son Joseph and daughter Clara gathered like vultures. They slapped neon sticky notes on everything, my grandmother's quilt from Iowa, the silver tea set we danced around during blackouts. "She's half gone already," Joseph sneered, his voice cutting through the stale coffee air. "Let's gut the kitchen for a spa once she's out." Clara laughed, measuring rooms with her phone app, joking about cashing my pension checks. I sat in a wobbly folding chair, heart pounding, smelling the faint lilies from the casket, feeling the public disrespect, like a slap worse than any marital strain from Harold's long hours or that scam artist who nearly drained my savings last year. Alone in the garden shed that night, under a flickering bulb, I let the tears come. Why had I stayed silent all those years? Wiring my nursing savings to save his failing business without a word? Regret swirled like the humid air. But then, clarity struck over chamomile tea. Silence wasn't weakness. It was my hidden sword. I reflected on how chosen family neighbors who'd checked on me during health flares mattered more than blood. Quietly, I slipped to the Charleston library, poring over old documents, then called my lawyer, Mr. Ellis, who'd known my secrets for decades. Suspense built as I gathered proof, bank memos from 1972, my handwritten business plans that turned Harold's shop into a chain. The climax unfolded in that historic courthouse on Broad Street. Rain pattering like applause. Mr. Ellis revealed the revised will mime co-founder status, the intellectual property from my strategist that netted millions. A clause deducted a fortune for every disparaging word they'd uttered, caught on hidden recordings. Joseph's face went ashen. Clara stammered apologies, their empire crumbling as my assets reverted. It was cathartic, watching their greed boomerang, my quiet rage blooming into justice. No shouts, just truth prevailing over their downfall. Now in my cozy condo overlooking Folly Beach, waves crashing like freedom's song, I've reclaimed my life. A garden with a senior club, volunteer at the local center, sharing wisdom on resilience, and started a scholarship fund for women overlooked in business. My legacy, not theirs. I'm grateful for small joys, sunrise walks, easing my arthritis, coffee with new friends who see me fully. I've learned purpose comes from within, dignity from standing tall, and overcoming betrayal through smart steps, like legal protections builds unbreakable strength. If this stirs something in you, reflect. What's one act of self-kindness you'll claim today? Share below and subscribe for more stories of women like us rising. You're not alone. We bloom again.